everybody. This is Vince Oldry. I'm here with Marc. He's an advisor that's working with us. We've been lucky enough to actually do some meetings together, so it's very unique to kind of do this. But at the end of the day, I really want to just kind of go over the success that Marc has been going through or having, and also talk about some differences of the different programs he's tried and how these programs or the program that we're doing together is different. And then also we'll just talk a little bit about the success, like what's working, how Marc's been able to write a bunch of business. Now, Marc does mostly the annuity, the life insurance, or what we like to call the safe side of the money side of things. And then Marc was kind enough to ask me to join his meetings and say, hey, will you handle the assets under management side, or I guess what we call the riskier side of things. So this is Marc, everybody. So thank you, Marc. Thanks for hopping on here and kind of telling everybody about your success. But before we jump into all the success you've had, I know we have about 2 to 3 million business. Some's already been paid. Some I know we're meeting through yet, but we're close to like 3 million in closed business. And I think of that, it's about 7 million of AUM too. So it's been a good partnership here. But tell me, I know you didn't start with our marketing. You were doing different types of marketing, and some were good, some not so good. So please tell me about the different programs you're doing right now. And you don't have to name any names or anything like that, but what's different about what we're doing now versus what you were doing?
I think the difference is showing up. I mean, these people are going to be there on the Zoom meeting. They're excited. I go through the first meeting. This is me and them one-on-one. And then once gathering the information, I'm able to immediately determine, am I going to bring in Vince or not? Okay. And it's pretty quickly, easily determined bringing you in, because these types of people that are coming in to the workshops are people that are people of higher net worth than the normal that I've been usually bringing into my workshop. So these people are really caring about their finances more than ever, versus compared to other people with lesser amounts of money who seem to not really as cared as much. And that's probably why they don't have as much lots of the times. But initially, it's that higher net worth of a client that will, once I let them know I'm going to be having, or we're going to have a second meeting, I feel that what I bring to the table, what we bring to the table, can really make a difference in their best interests. So that's when I'm going to bring Vince up onto the next meeting or meetings. And then from there, they see the strategic partnerships, why I'm bringing Vince in, and the levels of professionalism and expertise that he delivers to these people. And that's why they're staying on for the next meetings. We've done meetings where these people, I haven't had one of them yet where they're saying we're done. We don't need you. They are looking forward to the next meeting. They're always asking, well, what's next? What are we going to do next? When are we going to do this next? Or what? Well,
I know you call me a sloth because I don't move as fast as you do, but I like to get them to say that. Yeah, I like to get them to say that. But there's a difference between what you're talking about is like the quality, which is great, but the type of lead, or you do the workshops, the in-person workshops, and you do the webinar, the automated webinar that we do. You've had success with both sides of it. We've seen really good quality on both sides of it. I know there's a program that you even want us to help you build out, which we did, just because you were doing it with somebody else. And so we tried building it out. You're still getting the leads, but it wasn't working. Why do you think that was? I mean, I know why it wasn't going to work, but I was like, sure, Marc, we'll do it for you. But, here's what's going to happen. But I don't want to be the guy to tell them what's going to happen, to everybody what's happening with that. I'd rather you say, okay, well, here's what's happening versus what happens on this end. So why do you think the other lead program doesn't work as well?
Well, it's more or less like buckshot. Okay. It's not that how you're filtering, getting, whittling it down. So when it comes to me, it's a finer of a quality of a client that I can capture as a client. Okay. Versus just a time killer. Okay. we're booking out a meeting with somebody on a, let me see if I can talk to you for 5 minutes. So can I have 5 minutes with you? Then they don't show up. Okay, well, these people they're booking into a calendar on the webinar. They are booking a meeting with me at the workshop, and they're all showing up. I mean, that's a gigantic difference. Plus the quality of the client. These people are just have a much higher net worth than what I'm getting from the other ones that I work.
Yeah, I think it's something to note. So the lead program that you were doing before was more of like a Facebook ad that would just say, hey, book an appointment with me after they came from a landing page, which they wanted more information, but they weren't quite ready for that information versus because they came to your webinar or they came to the seminar, they now were a little bit more invested. And then they wanted that appointment because they wanted to take the next step. So I think there's a big difference there. The other thing that I think that is worth talking about though, is just how you've been successful with these people. So, knock on wood here, we haven't lost anybody that you and I have teamed up on here, but the sizes that you're doing, like the average case size so far is, I know you haven't done anything less than 250 yet. I'm going to say that your average has got to be like 450, somewhere around there as far as your case size. Is that a much different case size that you're used to compared to what you were doing in the past?
Yeah. I mean, much different. I mean, it's probably less than half that I was capturing before. Okay. So capturing less than half, and then where you have a 25% show up rate, that's a gigantic difference.
Yeah, and then the workshop is a little bit different too, because we're not doing dinners. We're doing them at local colleges or libraries. I know you do the Legion. So that's different too. Whereas I think in the past you were doing dinner seminars, or you have done dinner seminars.
I've done dinner seminars before. I've also done them where, just a cookie tray, and water, but I kind of like that one, Vince. It's a lot cheaper. But needless to say, I stopped feeding them because I just felt that it wasn't necessary. I think what I brought to the table, the knowledge and education, was much more valuable than a steak dinner. And if they're really interested in what you have to say and they want to work, food should not be an issue.
Yeah, I agree with you, obviously, because on our end, my finance planning practice, we don't do any dinners. We haven't done any dinners in 5 years now. So it's totally different. Now, what's one thing that's been kind of shocking to you as far as what's been working?
In that second meeting, I'm watching the people, because some of them have come into the office. Okay. They're coming in here. They're coming into the office. I'm bringing you in on a Zoom meeting. Actually, they all come in the office, excuse me. And I'm bringing you in on a Zoom meeting, and I get to watch these people. And it's kind of a paradigm shift for them, because they're seeing somebody on a screen. They're seeing me live. Okay. So they're seeing both of us, but you're on a screen. They know you're a person. They know you're in Minnesota, and you're smart. Okay. And that makes a big difference. So you have one very smart person and a smart person.
Yeah. So it's not all been in person, because we have like a person out that's been all virtual. That actually I'm going to fly out there to meet with them just to.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, we have them coming up in a couple of weeks. You're flying into New Jersey because they want to meet us. I mean, it's not just so it's worth the airplane ticket. I mean, that's a couple $1 million right there. That couple. So.
Yeah, I think it was 3.5. So I said, yeah, well, we got them down to the very end, to the goal line. And they basically said, we love everything. We just really want to meet you. I'm like, that's okay. I will come out and meet you. And I feel the same way. Whenever we vet our third-party asset managers that we work with. I go out and meet with each one of them. So yeah, as long as that's the last thing you want to see in here, us do, then that's fine by me. So we'll be going out there. But at the end of the day, I mean, you could do this all virtually. You could do it all in person. I just wanted to kind of talk about, the success that you've had. I think it's been great. It's been, I don't always get to see the success the advisors have just because I'm usually not, in all the meetings. Whereas with you, I've been able to be in part of the meetings. I get to see the success on our end just because that's my financial planning practice. But, just different where I'm virtual the entire time here with you, and it's been kind of fun. I think the second appointment may be a little bit different than what you've been used to, or the third appointment too. Maybe because I just work a little slower. What do you think? What's different about how I do things versus maybe what you've been used to?
Well, I like the way you're doing it because, you're making these people feel like you're taking your time. Okay. You're not rushing them to the finish line immediately. Okay. They see that you're a complete certified financial planner. Okay. And you're part of my toolbox. Okay. We're a team. It's not just me. It's me working with you as part of the strategic team. And I believe that they really like that more than anything else versus me on an island by myself trying to sell you an annuity. Okay. I mean, that's a big difference to have a strategic partner there that could look at something a lot differently than how I look at things. Everything's best interest of client, but there's plenty of people out there that you're developing plans for them that I'm putting them in a situation where we don't have risk, and you're putting them in a situation where they have a little bit of risk. Okay, but you're able to develop a plan that they've never had before. Okay, like example, you're coming into my state in a couple of weeks because obviously they've had somebody. It really wasn't successful, or else they would be sticking with that individual. But the way you strategically planted your meetings, you're saying things to them that they haven't heard before. Because if you hadn't said that, there wouldn't be Vince flying across the country. Okay, so you're making them feel comfortable with what we're doing, and they're going to have somebody who, number one, that you're licensed, they can trust, they're looking for credentials. You have all of that, and they're comfortable with moving forward. I think that's really important. Every time they're taking that next step, it's just another step in a right direction that they're feeling comfortable moving.
Now, I know in the meetings, I'm usually doing the second or the third meeting, and I focus on the assets under management part, but I actually do the annuity portion for you, right? I mean, where I've mentioned, here's how much we're going to do the annuity. I guess I really don't know how much you do after that meeting when I say, here's where the annuity is going to go. But one thing that I want to stress here is that I've never shown an illustration, and we don't sell annuities by illustrations. We put the annuity in there because it's the right thing for the client, because of the words the placeholder is, and we just need the client to understand why it's there. We don't need to show illustrations. We don't need to show them anything that's a selling proposition. They just need to understand why it's there and what it means for them, and then how that's going to work and benefit their plan. And then the AUM side, how it's going to help benefit the AUM side as well, or the equity side, or the riskier side. So I just want to bring that up because I think sometimes, a lot of times, annuity people, I don't want to call them annuity people, annuity agents or life insurance agents, they get so focused on just trying to do the wow factor. Look, you can't lose anything, that kind of thing. I think that's great, but that they can't lose anything. But I think we just need to keep it simple. So even in my financial plan, we could show them 200 pages if we wanted to. I show them 1 or 2 slides. Depends if they want the taxes or not. So we go down that route. But I just want to bring that up because I don't know if that's something that you used to do, but I know when I've done the annuity in that presentation on our asset allocation, I don't know. Do you think that's a difference or not?
I do think it's different. The only time I'll give somebody an illustration is if they ask me for one. Okay. I agree with you there because, they're not even going to know what the heck you're talking about, when you're talking to them, and unless you're going to spend 5 days with them with that illustration. Okay. I could, just because between par rates and caps and spreads, there's a lot of moving parts, and they'll get completely lost in the weeds, and you don't want them. You want them comfortable. And when you're positioning me, that's one thing I got to say. When you're positioning me as, well, I'm the side with you're not going to have any risk. Okay. People are really comfortable, just taking that next initiative. You are putting me, you're pitching me out there as the person that's going to be the person where, Mark's side's going to be the side where you don't have to worry about any type of risk at all. Okay. It's kind of more or less the boring side. It's not as sexy, but we can count on it. Okay. And that's what really people need to know, that those kinds of things up front versus they get involved in something and then, oh my God, what did I just get involved in? They're second guessing themselves. I don't see that with this program at all.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yes, I think people are a little bit more open to the planning versus them being sold. I will also say though, that's probably the downfall. It's people aren't like signing up to, sign the dotted line to buy an annuity, right? Or to sign up to be a financial planning client. We still have to go through the financial planning process with them. But I think unless we want to like commoditize this business, which I don't think we want to do, because that means like we would be pretty much out of the job. There is no such thing that I don't think that you can do to just do an annuity lead to just dotted line. You still have to go through the financial planning process, or at least go through the meeting process, which means there's a little bit of work, right? I mean, you're not lazy. You do the work. You follow up with people to make sure that they're going to meet the next meeting and that kind of thing. So I gotta give you a lot of credit for making sure you're doing the right thing to make sure people are showing up to the meetings, making sure that people are getting everything that they need, after, following up with them, as far as if you said you're going to give them something, you follow up with them and give it to them. So there's a lot of stuff there that, unfortunately, I think some advisors were a little bit lazy, and we've kind of fallen that little bit of a trap where we just hope that we can just find that silver bullet, and it doesn't really exist. But I think that you do a really good job with that. So Mark, as always, it's been a great partnership so far, and I hope that we can do a lot more together here. I know we got a lot left on the meeting on the calendar here, so I'm excited about that. But again, I just want to bring you on here and kind of share with how things have been going, and please, guys, if you've watched to the end of this, please don't bother Mark. This is what this video is here for. So please don't bother Mark. If you need some questions, just bother me, because I don't want to bother Mark too much here, other than I thought it was just great to have a conversation here with how things have been going, how successful he's been. He's done well over 2 million in annuity production. We got another 1 million in the pipe that should be closed. And we've done that over a 3-month period. So I think it's been pretty exciting. And like I told Mark, I'm like, Mark, we keep doing this, we're going to be doing like 1 million a month in annuity production. Easy. So I'm excited for that.
I see that very easy.
Cool. Well, thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
I know you got a meeting to get to, so I'll see you later.
Okay. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.